Welcome, explorers! Imagine for a second that you're an adventurer standing at the edge of a magical, treacherous mountain kingdom with a map in your hand. Today, we're going on an epic journey using the ultimate treasure map, calculus. We are going to discover the absolute secrets of optimization. Whether you're gearing up to conquer your Class 12 board exams, tackling the JEE main, or honestly just love a really good high-stakes puzzle, this explainer is going to give you the exact mathematical tools you need. So grab your gear and let's uncover the calculus of Maxima and Minima. Picture this. You've been hiking for days through this magical landscape, and suddenly you reach a fork in the path. A guide appears and poses the ultimate question. Which mountain actually hides the treasure? Do we climb up to the absolute highest peak, or do we descend into the deepest hidden valley? Legend says the prize lies at the top, but another clue whispers of a secret tunnel down at the very bottom. Well, lucky for us, calculus is the map that can track down both. Okay, let's start the hike. Picture yourself trekking up a really steep mountain trail. As you move forward, your height is continuously going up, right? Well, the mathematical term for this climbing journey is an increasing function. You just keep pushing upward until, eventually, there is literally nowhere higher to go. That absolute summit where the clouds part and you're standing on top of the world, that leads you straight to a maximum point. But what if the path drops off? You start walking downhill and your height begins to decrease. Mathematically speaking, you're now riding along a decreasing function. You're descending deeper and deeper into a lush, hidden valley until you hit rock bottom. And from this spot, every single direction you could possibly walk goes upward. Boom. You've just discovered a minimum point. Now, here's an absolutely crucial detail. How does the math actually know when you've reached the very top or the absolute bottom? The secret is all in the slope, which we measure using our trusty derivative. When you're climbing, the slope is positive. When you're descending, it's negative. But right at that highest peak or deepest valley, the slope momentarily flattens out entirely. Your derivative equals exactly 0. We call this perfectly flat moment a critical point. It's a massive, glowing X on our treasure map. But hey, as any seasoned treasure hunter knows, you've got to be careful. Not every flat point guarantees a mountain peak or a valley. Sometimes, a path just flattens out for a second before continuing upward, kind of like a ledge on a cliff face. So how do we know for sure what we found? We're going to need a special tool. To solve this mystery, we pull out our mathematical compass, the first derivative test. Think of it as a magical slope detector that instantly reads the steepness of the ground beneath your boots. You measure the slope right before you reach that flat point. Then, you step across that flat critical point and you measure it again. The sheer brilliance of this test is in how simple it is. By measuring the slope right before and right after our critical point, we can definitively prove where we are. If your compass reads a positive climbing slope and then suddenly switches to a negative descending slope, congratulations, you just summited a peak, a maximum. But if it reads a negative downward slope and then shifts to a positive upward climb, you just hiked through a valley, a minimum. Let's actually put this into action on a real mathematical treasure map. Say our equation is f of x equals x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4. Step 1, we find the derivative, which gives us 3x squared minus 6x. Step 2, set it to 0 to find where the ground is flat. By factoring that, we discover our critical points are at x equals 0 and x equals 2. Step 3, we pull out our compass and test the terrain right around those exact coordinates. And just as the map foretold, testing those slopes completely solves the puzzle. Right before x equals 0, the slope is positive, and after, it's negative. That reveals a towering maximum peak at 0. On the flip side, before x equals 2, the slope is negative, and after, it flips to positive. This reveals a deep, beautiful valley minimum at 2. We did it! We pinpointed both locations. But mathematicians, much like seasoned explorers, really love a good shortcut. Instead of checking both sides of a critical point every single time, we can just use the second derivative test to instantly read the shape of the land. Instead of looking at the slope, this test measures acceleration. It tells us exactly how fast the slope itself is changing right at that one specific spot. This brilliantly shows just how powerful that shortcut is. If your second derivative is a positive number, it means the road is bending upwards, kind of like a giant bowl. That means you're sitting safely at the bottom of a minimum. If the second derivative is a negative number, the road curves downwards, like an upside-down bowl or a hill, proving you are standing at the top of a maximum. It is instantaneous, and honestly, it's a real game changer. Okay, now that we have these tools in our belt, we aren't just hunting for imaginary gold chests anymore. Uncovering how these exact same calculus rules unlock real-world optimization magic all around us, that is where the true awe lies. Every single day, engineers, architects, and scientists use Maxima and Minima to design our modern world. Let's look at what they're actually building out there. We see this everywhere, from designing the highest, most thrilling theme park roller coasters with massive Maxima drops to calculating the absolute minimum fuel consumption for giant commercial airplanes. Architects use these principles to maximize the structural strength of bridges. Businesses use them to maximize their profits and minimize their costs. Even nature uses calculus. Soap bubbles automatically form shapes that minimize their surface area, and birds literally choose flight paths that minimize energy. Nature is practically showing off. Just watch how beautifully this scales across completely different fields. Whether it's a farmer using Maxima to figure out that a perfect square fence gives him the largest possible grazing area for his animals, or a Formula One engineering team using Minima to calculate the exact cornering path for the absolute shortest, fastest lap time. Calculus is the key that unlocks peak performance. It even powers the bleeding edge of the future. Artificial intelligence models, like the ones behind ChatGPT, rely entirely on finding the absolute minimum error to learn and become smarter. When an AI trains, it makes mistakes, measures them, and then uses calculus to adjust its vast network over and over. Its only goal is to ride that error function downward to reach the lowest possible valley. Computer scientists actually call this process gradient descent. How cool is that? So, the crucial point here is making sure this mathematical map really sticks in your memory for those upcoming exams and beyond, meaning it is challenge time. Let's see if you have truly mastered the secrets of the map. I'm going to ask you 5 rapid-fire questions based on the adventure we just took. Get ready and feel free to answer out loud. All right, question 1. Picture yourself standing right on the very tip of a mountain peak or the absolute bottom of a valley. What exact number must our derivative equal when we are standing right on a critical point? Exactly, 0. The slope is 0 because, for that one fleeting moment, the ground is perfectly flat. Awesome. Moving on to question 2. Imagine you are holding your mathematical compass. If your slope changes from a positive steep climb to a negative downward descent, what landform have you just crossed? That's right, a maximum. You climbed up, hit the summit, and started coming down. You've officially crossed a maximum point. Question 3 relies on our mathematician's shortcut. If your second derivative calculation gives you a positive number, what shape is the graph bending into and what does it represent? You nailed it. That positive second derivative means the land curves upward like a giant bowl, which means you are standing safely at the bottom of a valley, a minimum. And finally, for our ultimate question, what if you run that second derivative test and the result is completely negative? What shape is the land taking? It bends downward like a hill at a maximum. Fantastic job. You have officially navigated the slopes, mastered the derivative tests, and totally earned the title of Master Treasure Hunter of Calculus. But hey, before we part ways today, I want to leave you with one final puzzle to chew on. What if a mountain range has multiple valleys? How does an AI, or a mathematician for that matter, know they found the absolute deepest global valley on the entire map, and not just some shallow local dip? Think about that, and we'll see you on our next explainer.